Hi, welcome to my unboxing of Kharkov Battles, published by Compass Games. It's quite new. I bought it off Second Chance Games the other day. It's come really quick, which is great. We have a look at the back of the box. It's basically a standalone game that can be combined with full Blau. If you have that, you don't have to have that game, but if you do, you can combine the map and create these great grand campaigns. On the back of the box, we've got 80 hours for that grand campaign, but there are some smaller scenarios as well, so less than 2 hours. So I'll be playing those to start with, and then one day or 1 week or 1 month I might combine them together and do the grand campaign. It's high suitability for solitaire, which is great. Complexity is medium, and it's sort of, my initial thoughts are that it fits into that sort of medium complexity. Whilst this is only a single map, the original game is multi-map, so it's sort of single, fairly medium complexity monster game. So first up, we'll have a quick look at the rulebook. It's a 10-sided dice game. You get 10-sided dice with it. Looks to be around 22 pages in length. Yeah, it looks full colour, nicely laid out. Looks very traditional wargame rulebook style layout. So we have a sequence of play, preparation, air allocation, supply determination, axis maintenance phase. Great. Then we're into the axis player turn, movement followed by combat, Soviet, so I'm guessing the axis player always goes first, and then the end of turn, section on air power, stacking, 3 combat units per hex, so it's not a large stacking game, which is nice. I don't mind games that actually have large stacks, but obviously it's a lot more accessible and easier to, the friction is less when smaller stacking game. So I've got some examples of zones of control. They look fairly straightforward. Zone of control, supply sources, support. Looks like you get some support points. That's quite interesting. Movement. I would imagine this is pretty straightforward. Tactical and strategic movement. Very nicely laid out. Special tactical movements. Oh, that's interesting. Some nice colour examples here as well. Looks great. Really nicely done. Soviet command. Oh, that looks like combat. Sorry, skip through that part. So yeah, not too many pages per sort of section. It looks quite straightforward to read, very easy on the eye, which is nice. And then we're into the scenario. So 16 page on page 16, so not a huge number of pages for the rules. Looks, yeah, that sort of medium complexity. Then we're into scenarios. Operation Star. From memory, I'd imagine this is probably quite a long scenario. Looks like it could be 16 turns. And then second Kharkov. This one looks shorter, 6 turns. And then third Kharkov. Looks like beginning of turn 11, ends on turn 16. Looks like there's some specific scenario rules and some victory conditions. What looks really nice is that each scenario is quite condensed and straightforward to quickly ascertain the victory conditions and any special rules. Then looks like we've got some rules and scenarios that are in addition to the original game. That's quite cool. Yeah, nicely done. Yeah, the rulebook looks great. Oh, an excellent sequence of play on the back cover. These, I find, the amount of war games I have, I instinctively look for the back cover for the sequence of play. and often disappointed that we don't get one. So that's great. That's becoming very useful. Yeah, rulebook looks great. Really nicely done, as you'd expect from Compass. Nicely laid out. Looking forward to reading that probably this evening. So we're going to have a quick look at some of the player aids out of the box. I've just grabbed them out of the box. So this is the third Kharkov. As you can see, this is the Axis setup here. Not a huge number of counters. That's Operation Star. Again, not a huge number of counters, so it doesn't look to be a huge counter game. And reinforcements nicely laid out, nice and spacious. I'll put this under some plexi probably when I'm playing. And second Kharkov. So you've basically got some player aids to help you set your game up, and then for reinforcements. Looks very nice. Okay, this looks like yeah. So this is the Grand Campaign, just to give you some sort of difference. Grand Campaign, 70 turns for Soviet reinforcements there. This looks to be a, yeah, doesn't align when they're saying 80 odd hours, or whatever it said in the back of the box. January campaign. So it looks like you also get a couple of different campaigns as well. Then we've got, this is interesting. They've gone for a different a portrait type layout for the Axis reinforcements for the campaign. Yeah, 72 turns there. Looks like option K. That's interesting. Looks nicely laid out. January campaign. And again, we've got here, we have Operation Star. Again, not huge, more counters obviously for the Soviets as you'd expect, but still not a huge number of counters for the game. And then we've got third Kharkov and second Kharkov. So if we have a look at, for example, third Kharkov, again, yeah, really not a lot of counters at all. Roughly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 20, I don't know, 30 counters, just over 30 counters for third Kharkov. Yeah, looks really nice. Then we also get another part of player aids here. Command and control table. Terrain effects. So on the terrain effects, we've got combat effects, terrain type. Again, nice, very nicely laid out, very clear, very clean. Prepared assault table. Again, nicely laid out. It's very sort of subdued colour palette. It makes it very easy to read. Looks interesting. Got another terrain effects, so 1 per player if you're playing 2 player. Prepared assault procedure, victory point track. We're reading the rules for these later. Mobile assault tables, again, very clean, nice, very tidy, well laid out. Looks very, very easy to read, very accessible, which is great. And then we've got our Grand Campaign turn record track. Ooh. Originally when I bought this game I wasn't thinking of playing the Grand Campaign. The more I'm looking at it, the more I think I will. So the counters, now the counters come in a bag, and I've just opened the bag, and as you can see they are literally literally falling off the sheets, which I quite like, because for some peculiar reason I don't like punching counters. It kind of puts my teeth on edge a little bit, I don't know why. Probably more information than you need to know, but they punch out really easy, really quickly, as you can see. I'm like super. They're just literally falling to pieces, falling out, which is nice. They are. They look very. They look. Yeah, they look really, really clean. Graphic design. The information looks very readable. It's very clear the difference in palette between the different counters. Looks like we've got, as you can see, they literally come in falling straight out the sheets. So this game, from what I understand, now interestingly, I thought I had 4 Blau. I'm sure I've got it. I'm sure I haven't played it though. And this looks very familiar. This idea of these chits here, which I believe are used in combat. But yeah, again, very nice. So I shall be bagging these and sorting these out. I'm just going to have a look to see if I think I'll clip these counters or not. I probably will just clip them. I think they look nice and clean. Not heavy on the kind of stub. I call the stub anyway, or the nib. Yes, they are literally falling great. So I'll be bagging these up before we have a look at the maps. This is map D. This is the version of the map I would say that you will be using if you're combining this with the 4 Blau game. The hexes look very clear. The contents of the hexes look very clear. It's very, very, very readable what the contents of the hex are and all the landmarks. So there's Kharkov right there in the middle. I've laid the map on its side just so we can see the whole thing in one shot. That's a counter to give you some sense of scale to my to the map. The hexes and the counters are not the largest. There's Rostov. You can't quite see it. Rostov is just down here, but very readable. Looks really nice. Will look good on the table. The paper stock is nice. Laced flat, pretty, well. It'll be played under plexi. Yeah, looks good. So this is map KB. This is the map that you'll be using when you play the scenarios specific to this particular game. So if you're not playing the full campaign, it looks very, very nice. So you've got more information. Again, I've just laid it on the side just so we can see it all in one shot. You've got your turn record track here. You've got it details what all the numerics mean. You've got a table here. Very nice. All the entry areas. The actual graphic design of the map, the palette. Again, it's very easy to read. I can instantly look at this and understand exactly the contents of all the hexes. All the landmarks are very clear. There's Kharkov, for example. Looks great. This looks really nice. Yeah, this will look great under some plexi. So interestingly, it's a smaller physic. The hexes are the same size by the look of it, but the actual map the area is smaller. So you're playing on less of an area, I guess you could call it. But it still looks great. Looks really, really nice. Great job on the maps. They look great. And this is the third map. So this is interesting. It wasn't quite clear why you were getting a smaller version of the map, but now it all makes a lot of sense. So this is map KH. It's basically a smaller area of the previous map KB that we looked at, but larger. So the hexes are a larger size. Now I am adding 2 and 2 together. I might be getting 5. That you could probably use this map on for some of the scenarios in the game. So if you don't want to use the big map, you can use this smaller map as well. Maybe the fact that this one's not in a winter, again, you may be using this for specific scenarios, who knows. But it looks great. I like the slightly bigger hexes. Again, graphic design looks really... I'm just noticing these kind of interesting graphics here. So they obviously mean something. So I shall be studying the rules later to find out what they mean. But initial impression looks very nice, very clear, clean, very clear the contents of the hex, very clear the landmarks as well. So it looks great. Yeah. So overall, looking forward to reading the rules. I'll probably play most of the. I'll play all the scenarios. A couple of times, and then maybe do sort of an after action report and certainly do a review. Just as a standalone game, I think I'll do all the smaller scenarios first before I decide if I want to tackle the massive campaign and having to dust off the larger game that goes along with this. So we'll see. But yeah, looks very, very nice. Top job all round. Looks great. Can't, you know, one of those sort of games where I just want to now just sit here this afternoon now and clip it all and read the rules and get on the table, which is always a good sign. So yeah, looks great. Thanks a lot for watching, as ever. Thank you.